Hi, welcome to Think Human. I'm Chris, and in this video I want to talk about the ethics of stem cells. So stem cells are an incredible thing, and I'm sure you heard a lot about it. I also want to make a video of the many various medical benefits and potential that stem cells have in the future of medicine, which is truly vast. Stem cells can do a lot of things. Essentially, stem cells are just cells that are undifferentiated. So they are the cells that yet have not become nothing, but they have the potential to become anything, any part of the body. And thus, obviously the healing properties potentially of stem cells are incredible and vast. And to me, it is a shame and a tragedy that we are not doing any more research on it. And so I really, wanted to make this video to sort of paint a clear picture that, taking stem cells is not in any way the same as killing a human person. That is absurd, and I think it got mixed up a lot by some religious sort of fundamentalists who, such a weird world that we live in, that some people who believe in some ridiculous stuff can just halt scientific research like that. Few things to note. Stem cells are taken around 2 to 3 days after the insemination, I guess is the word for it. So 2 to 3 days after the first the woman egg has actually started to be split. 2 to 3 days. Now, 2 to 3 days is the very early stages of an embryo. 2 to 3 days in no way does even qualify as a fetus, and yet people get abortions for fetuses and all of that, but that's another story. So, stem cells, this 2 to 3 year old person is just some cells. There is absolutely zero capacity for any pain, emotion, hopes or dreams. Soul I could not speak of, but I would assume no, because of course the soul is in the brain. 2 to 3 days. I want to put the picture here too. I guess I already showed it because I want to show it at what this is. These are just cells. This is not a person, and it is ridiculous how some people think that it is a person. It is so strange in the way that more reasonable among them of this, I guess religious fundamentalists would say something like, okay, yeah, it's not a person yet, but it has the potential to become a person. So now we're talking about potential to become a person. So every time someone masturbates and comes somewhere, they're killing millions and millions of potential people. It's genocide, horrible. So I don't even know what to say. It's such a weird thing to have to argue. To me, it seems obvious, but you get the point. The potential for life is not the same as actual life. Sure, it is life and the very beginnings of life, but it's the very, very beginnings of life. If you're not sad about, sperm going on a bed sheet or towel or fucking whatever, then you should not be sad about stem cells being taken, because that truly has not developed into anything yet. Another thing, once we have stem cells, if we have excellent, perfect conditions for it, then we could keep cultivating stem cells for potentially forever, because they just divide and reproduce and divide and divide and divide. If they have all of their nutrients and perfect conditions in place, they can just keep dividing. So you need to do the sort of harvesting of stem cells rarely if you handle it well. And, it's just not the person, what are we talking about? That's crazy. And, I started thinking about, because, I literally had this idea in my head that, maybe too much like South Park or like Tom Cartoons or something like that. But I pictured that, you actually need to have a fetus, that's already developing into something close to a human being, something around a fetus, and you need to suck stem cells out of its spine or something like that. I didn't really think that, but that was my sort of misinformed thing. And then I was like, I have to look into it because I'm interested in it, because I also read about all the vast benefits and amazing breakthroughs that could potentially happen with stem cells. And I was like, there must be a good reason why we're not doing it. There must be a good reason why there is an outcry against this, because there is such vast potential in stem cells to treat all kinds of things. And then I looked into it, and the same way as I showed you the picture before, no, they're not taking stem cells from a human baby. They're taking stem cells from a bunch of cells that are nothing yet. So, that's the thing. So I was shocked and disappointed and kind of sad when I learned that this is what people are going against. I think with many situations with this kind of research, it's ignorance that sort of makes people be against it. They just don't know enough of what we're actually talking about, what stem cells actually could do, and what stem cells actually are, and how they're harvested. If people were more informed, then we wouldn't have this issue. And I think it's a tragedy that there even is an issue with that. I mean, I think we could get into some ethical territory if the thing was developed in a way that it had at least any beginning of a brain or anything like that. But stem cells have none of that, nothing. Some of you will totally know what I'm talking about, and you feel me on this. Some of you would be like, I don't think many religious fundamentalists will watch this video anyway. But these are just my thoughts on stem cells and fascinating things. And I do hope that there was a lot of sort of strong reaction against stem cell research, and it's so foolish and ridiculous if you look into it. And this is just what I wanted to talk about, the sort of ethics of stem cells, I suppose. I hope this was something interesting. If you have any thoughts, please share them in the comments. And of course, thank you so much for watching, and take care.